Manager says to be off the clock by 1 p.m.
I work in a barbecue restaurant as the pitmaster. So I run the smokers and handle all raw meat preparation. I have to get there by 5 or 6 a.m. depending on the day in order to have food ready to open the restaurant at 11. Well, the general manager, GM, decided she was spending too much on labor and needed to cut my hours. As such, she told me at around 2 p.m. on a Thursday the following: I need you to clock out by 1 p.m. every day no matter what. I asked for it in writing and got it. So the next day, I went to the head chef when I got there that the GM said I had to be out by 1 p.m. no matter what, and showed him the signed note. I set an alarm on my phone and got to work. I got through all the prep for the next day and was starting on the cleaning when my alarm went off. Now the pit area looked awful. The walls had some smoke stains that come off pretty easily with degreaser, but build up over time. The cooler floor had some blood on it that needed to be cleaned up before it spoiled and started smelling bad. My table had some seasoning left on it from where I seasoned the pork for the overnight load. The walls still had bits of skin, gristle, etc. stuck to them. The trash can was full. I told the head chef it was 1 p.m. and I had to go. He looked in the pit and said, "Yep, this is what I expected." But he let me clock out and go. This goes on for about a week, with the pit looking worse and worse each day. Then the district manager, DM, comes in on my day off. The head chef told me that the DM immediately started on the GM for the pit looking awful and how the pitmaster needed to stay until the pit was clean no matter what. So I got it in writing and am now currently working to about 2:30 p.m. every day doing the full cleaning I was doing before again. Lol.
Ah. Manglement at its best. Good on you for getting it in writing.
Geez. You even warned her. I asked for it in writing. Anytime someone asks for it in writing, the first thing you should do is reconsider your request. After that note gets written and signed, it's FAFO time. In writing. Glorious. The best part of any MC story, honestly. A smart manager would step back and rethink any order that an employee asked for in writing. Let's focus on the important matters at hand. How do you like to smoke a brisket? What prep work do you usually do with regard to seasoning, trimming, etc.? Cap up? Cap down? What internal temperature are you looking to achieve? Do you wrap or not? For managers, can I have that in writing? Quote, means, you have no idea how badly you just screwed up, and I want my own ass covered. The proper response is to say something like, you know what? You're right. That is a bad idea. What would you suggest instead? Quote, always make an extra copy. Once at work I was asked to do something shady. Kept the email, sent a copy to my home email, and printed out a paper copy to show in case anyone asked as we used PCs. Nothing ever came of it. Had a manager, oil refinery, who persisted in giving direct stupid orders to we technical superintendents which would have shut down parts of the refinery or worse. We were tearing our hair out trying to point out the errors in her instructions, but just got into trouble for talking back to her. One superintendent got along just fine with her. We found out his secret. He agreed wholeheartedly with her instructions, went out and did the correct action, opposite to hers, then came back and reported that he had to modify her instructions slightly but it had all turned out perfectly. She drove so many of the technical staff to leave that those of us who remained got really big pay increases. I went up a pay grade to accommodate my rise. Thank you, Becky. Get everything you need in writing. This is the best way to do anything, and congratulations party popper bottle with popping cork confetti balloon on getting everything you need to in Writing and make copies and keep a copy on your person if possible because it's on you in case you need it and the copy in your files has disappeared. That happens way more often than you would think. One disgruntled employee who has a disagreement with you can pull your file out and destroy your copy in writing. I know several people who worked in food service and had things like job duties, salary and schedule changes that came up missing out of nowhere. It happened to me in food service when I was training for a prep job where I was training to be a sous chef and I didn't have it in writing. Just a verbal agreement, and then after working for about 34 weeks I was pulled off and another worker took over my position and my raise, and I was told that I was never told that my placement was permanent and I knew better. Unfortunately, my chef had been terminated because we were in a will-to-work state and could be fired for no reason. I refused to let them bully me and I left. So get everything done in writing, and I am so happy that you got your hours back to normal. I would bet she just wanted you to go off the clock but keep working to keep the area clean. Good on you for getting it in writing and refusing to play her game. They were obviously banking on you finishing your work after clocking out. Good on you for not playing that game. But tell me, since it was your day off, was it clean before you arrived the next day? Or still an encrusted disaster you had to fix? Corporate management is full of similar tales, regardless of industry. I have had those conversations, and they are always the most gratifying. My favorite is always, "You remember I am only working half today, right? Why did you schedule?" Literally never shows up on time. Quote, "Don't worry. They'll be here, shift ends. The flake flakes as expected. The manager has to run the kitchen now. Good times." Get it in writing. This is the way. So many of these stories come from a management request that could be stopped immediately with some logic or foresight. But no. The employee, not so much this op, delights in knowing they're being told the wrong thing. I love when someone explains to me why the idea wouldn't work. But then, I'm not an unreasonable robo-manager. Unfortunately, in a bigger company, the one telling you about the decision is not the one who made the decision. Then, you just CYA and go about your day. Off at 1 p.m. regardless of the possible unclean, therefore potentially unsafe pit conditions is setting the company up for a foodborne lawsuit. Did manager not understand how food prep works? Yeah, it's baffling why people in charge make decisions without thinking of their consequences. I love when these management morons literally ask for it
in writing. R/2 good to be Jew.
Chain restaurant problems.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.